let it be. With me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to this Louie T Network exclusive. Another new uniform. Now, I could have sworn they told me April 14th. I guess the leaks prompted them to just go ahead and say, you know what? Hell, they already seen it. Might as well unveil it on the 8th. And you know what this feels like? This feels like more division on division crime. All right. Intra-divisional family business crime. Like, you couldn't just let the Tampa Bay Buccaneers enjoy their situation. Now, look, their uniforms are refurbished, and that's fine, but they still were new to them. You know, and the fan base is still excited. And I know a lot of people like, I'm going to go get that Tom Brady pewter uniform and jersey. And you couldn't let them enjoy that. They don't win anything else. You couldn't let them enjoy this situation for just a day before you release your jerseys, which, by the way, are trash. Okay. Now, what in the holy Northeast Atlanta is this garbage that they've put forth here? I don't know why they felt the need to do this, okay? But the jerseys that they had were fine. And you know what makes me upset about these jerseys? And look, I'll be the voice of reason. They're not horrendous, okay? They're not as bad as a lot of people are saying. They're just not at the standard and level that we've come to expect from the Atlanta Falcons. And this goes all the way back to the Bartkowski days, okay? This goes all the way back to the 70s when they had the uniforms with the red helmets. Those were crisp, okay? When they throw it back to those, you're like, man, those are nasty. Then you go into the Deion Sanders, Jesse Tuggle, Chris Chandler era, and like those jerseys, the Jamal Anderson, Dirty Bird uniforms, you know, late Vic, all of those are awesome uniforms, okay? Like one of the best. When you think about a black uniform in the NFL, the first one that comes to mind when I think about the best is those Atlanta Falcons late 80s, early 90s uniforms, okay? Into the mid to late 90s. And then they made the switch to, you know, when you had the whole Michael Vick experience to the uniforms that they had been wearing up until yesterday. And those were really great uniforms. And the thing I loved about it is that they had 97 combinations that they could put together. They could go red on red. They could go red on black. They could go all black. They could go white on black. They could go, I've never seen them go white on white, although that's a possibility if they wanted to do it. And so the possibilities were endless, what they could do. All right. But then to do this is an abomination to what we've come accustomed to, what we've come to expect from the Falcons in terms of uniforms. This is not enough. This is an XFL uniform, a recycled XFL uniform. Let's take a closer look at what they've done here. I honestly think they're not as bad. Look, for me, honestly, if they just take the ATL out, maybe I'd be able to stomach it a little bit more better. But the ATL, okay, first of all, you're not the Atlanta Hawks, okay? So I don't need the big ass ATL on the front of your uniform. I'm good on that. If they would have just put a Falcon there, I might have even been a little bit more receptive to it. Or maybe how about you just spell out Falcons right there? But that big ass ATL is horrendous, okay? But notwithstanding, the rest of the uniform isn't actually that bad, but it's the way it's presented. Now, the number scheme, it's kind of similar to what they've already had. They kind of changed the numbers to make them look a little bit more sleek, which is fine by me. I don't really have a problem with that. But, you know, the little accent on the side that is matched up with the accent on the pants, I could do without that. That whole Denver Broncos, you know, look that they're going for there. You know how when the Broncos redid their uniforms and did that little thing on the side, I don't need that. You know, I'm not a huge fan of that when you try to do the little matching stripe at the top and the bottom of the pants I don't really need that on the sides. But, you know, looking at these uniforms, I think the ones that I like the most, and okay, the one on the very end, all the way to your right, is simply just the throwback uniform. Like, they didn't even need to include that in this montage because that's not new, okay? But whatever, that's fine. They felt the need to do that. That's on them. Reportedly, they're supposed to have at least 8 different combinations that they can wear with this thing. You're seeing a bunch of them here, at least 6 different combinations right in front of us. And I'm pretty sure they could mess around with the combinations some more if they like. But at the end of the day, As we take a closer look at these unis, this okay, what the hell are you doing here with the whole color fade thing? I mean, what is that? What are you doing? Okay, we don't do that in the NFL. All right, you save that for the AAF, you save that for the XFL, you save that for the Arena League. Okay, we don't do that in the NFL. We don't fade, we don't bleed colors from top to bottom. We don't do that. Okay, what are you doing? That's ridiculous in itself. Okay, so right there when you see Grady Jarrett modeling, that's terrible. Don't do that. Any other teams out there, don't do that. Now, what Deion Jones has, the white on white, that's not bad. Okay, that's not a criminal offense. But again, the ATL is what kills me on that uniform. And the Matt Ryan black on black, don't wear the black on black very often. Okay, spare me the black on black, please. I just, again, the ATL kills me. I don't like that. I honestly don't like the numbers, how they're shaped. But okay, whatever. I'm not gonna nitpick. I don't really like the way that this uniform is designed, period. I think they swung and missed on this one. They could have just left them. Really, the Falcons uniforms, the way they were one of the best in the league already. They didn't need to tweak it. They didn't need to alter it. They didn't need to change it whatsoever. Like, what was the point behind this? I guess to generate more revenue, switch up the uniforms, make people buy a whole bunch of new uniforms. Hopefully this backfires in their face and no one buys these uniforms. But of course, you're going to get people that buy these things in droves. And some people are going to think these are dope. And if you do, that's cool. I don't personally like these uniforms. What says you? What do you feel about these Falcons uniforms? Love them, hate them, indifferent? I'm not a big fan. And I'll give you a quick story and then we'll get out of here. I was on Twitter yesterday with someone and we were talking because I'd seen Adam Schefter post that or it might have been Ian Rappaport, whatever. They always post the same goddamn thing right after each other. But in any event, one of them had posted a video, the video that the Falcons put out, pretty much previewing that they were going to switch up their uniforms. And they had a guy, their equipment manager guy in there, taking all the uniforms down and putting them into a box, taking the helmet down and putting it in. So what is the helmet going to look like? Are they going to just leave it with the bird, or are they going to put this ugly ass ATL up there? That's interesting. Probably going to have the bird. I'd like to think that they're going to keep the Falcon on the helmet, but that's something else to look out for. I don't recall. Hold on. Let's take a look at this uniform again. Maybe we can see it from the side view here. I don't really see anything. I'm pretty sure they're going to keep the Falcon on the helmet, though. I'd like to think that that's not going to change. But in any event, I was on Twitter talking to someone, and I had retweeted the tweet of the video that the Falcons put out, and they said April 14th. It said, 4/14/20, and I'm thinking, okay, next week, a week from, Wednesday. So that was Tuesday. So it was a week from Tuesday. So 1 week, we're going to see some new uniforms from the Falcons, and this is going to be cool. And then right away, someone tweeted me, I wouldn't get excited about this, essentially, is what the person said. And they sent me the leak, of what the uniforms look like. And I'm like, no way, that's not the new uniforms. I'm like, maybe the Falcons did this on purpose to see what the reaction was going to be. This is a hoax. There's no way they're going to take what has become a staple uniform in the league and turn it into that. No. So I was like, I don't want to believe that. They've got something else in store for us. Nope, those were the uniforms. And I don't know. I want to hear from some Falcon fans. Maybe they think these are pretty dope. But to me, these uniforms, they don't do it for me. They don't register. They don't move the needle for me. I'm actually disappointed because, like I've said, in the long line, in the lineage of Falcons uniforms, going all the way back to Steve Bartkowski, all right, in the 70s and into the 80s and Dion and into the 90s and, Chandler and Jamal Anderson and Jesse Tuggle and all of those guys and seeing the maturation of this jersey and then into the Vic experience and the new uniforms that they had and what those represented and what they look like to this, it's almost like they regressed. All right. It's like they de-evolved here. They evolved all along that process, and every uniform felt like it got better and better and better. And then it's this. And now I feel like you've taken 4 steps backwards. Not excited about this. And I'm not happy with them for this, okay? Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comment section. Yay or nay on these new Falcons unis. Man, I'm really disappointed. Very, very disappointed in what they've done. They could have done what the Buccaneers did and just refurbished some old uniforms. Had every uniform look like the one Calvin Ridley is wearing, the old throwbacks that they kind of tweaked a bit, I would have been fine. Change the colors of those. Give me a white one, give me a red one, and give me a black one, and I would have been fine with that instead of this trash that you put forth. Anyway, leave it in the comment section. What do you think about these new Falcons uniforms? Love them, hate them, indifferent. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on the matter. Like this video, subscribe to the Louie T Network if you haven't already done so. Looking forward to chopping it up with you guys. And looking forward to reading your comments on these uniforms. This is the first one that I've had a real strong feeling on. I really didn't care for the logo of the Rams, but whatever, you know, cool. It doesn't make that big of a difference. Didn't really have a big opinion on the Chargers logo. Okay, it's cool, whatever. And the Buccaneers, I told you, it was refurbished. I've seen it before, so that wasn't a big deal for me. I thought the pewter on pewter was pretty dope, but outside of that, they were the same jerseys they wore back when they won the Super Bowl in 2002, and they pretty much just put a Nike check on it. So none of those moved the needle for me. This one, I'm actually really disappointed in. What do you guys think? Looking forward to reading your responses. I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. If it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage. It could be. Until next time, you guys take it easy. Have a good one. Lord have mercy. What have they done?